Modern baseball is one word. We've all grown up with modern baseball as one word, but in the 19th century, baseball was two words, and there's a world of difference between baseball and baseball.
Vintage baseball is a recreation of the game as we imagine it was played. We have some good clues, courtesy of the rule books and the guidebooks, but I'm not sure that we can completely pick up the fervor of a young nation for a young game. We do our best.
No batting gloves, helmets, wristbands, elbow pads, shin guards, sunglasses, logo shoes, pajama pants, gold chains, or earrings. No arguing with the umpire, stepping out of the batter's box, calling timeout, charging the pitcher, posing at home plate, curtain calling, chest bumping, high-fiving, pointing to the sky, or kissing jewelry. Just baseball, damn it. It's an effort to go back to the past and also to go back to another time without cell phones and computers and high-tech stuff.
One ball.
It's back to the basics. It's back to baseball the way it was played in the old days. No large gloves, no protective gear. All the players are gentlemen. They all have a good time and play hard together.
It's one big family is vintage baseball. You don't have guys trying to be like superheroes. There's no I in team in vintage baseball. It's a group of guys that get together that go out to play because they love baseball.
There's also a code of ethics. There's sportsmanship. There's gentlemanly behavior. There's fair play. There's honesty.
Fleetwood Chambers.
I'd love to see modern-day players play this vintage game, to go back and not necessarily manicure their nails, but let them see what it's like to play the game with the way it originally was intended.
You don't realize what it is until you go out and experience it, and then you're like, well, why haven't I been playing this for, forever?
Baseball is America's game, and everybody loves it, and you get to do this kind of funny uniform stuff and play the old-fashioned way, and I think it's very appealing to people.
Well, for me, vintage baseball is more like, what I dreamed baseball must have been like when they played in open fields. You walked by and watched these guys play.
The park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, Wahconah Park, has been around since 1894 and is one of the oldest ballparks here in New England.
So I said to the mayor, I'll bet we could play a vintage baseball game on the 4th of July. There's this team in Hartford, founded by a guy by the name of Greg Martin.
Jim called me up and said, hey, Greg, I got this idea. What if we recreate the old Pittsfield Hillies to challenge the Hartford Senators, and we'll do a 4th of July game? And I thought it was a wonderful idea. And
can I ask you something? Is this heaven?
No, this is Pittsfield. The history of baseball runs through Pittsfield, Massachusetts. And tonight at historic Wahconah Park, a sellout crowd of over 4,000 have come to honor the tradition of the game, the park, and the city. And we turn back the clocks to 1886 to watch the game as it was first played. And the teams to do that tonight, the Hartford Senators and the Pittsfield Hillies. Greg Martin, and Greg is the captain of the Hartford Senators.
I had the high honor at that time to be asked to be the first manager of the Pittsfield Hillies and to put together the team.
Hartford and Pittsfield had a rivalry that went back and was played out pretty strongly in the late teens and early 20s.
But even though the rivalry began with the Hillies on top and the Senators in the basement, Hartford often got the best of it.
Hartford couldn't beat anyone in 1920 when you saw that cartoon, except Pittsfield.
We sold tickets, these big, wonderful, big outsized tickets, were like Once people saw the tickets, they said, boy, what an event. I want to go to that game.
Seeing so many of the fans arriving in costume, having newsboys, having barbershop quartet, having music piped in of a certain 1890 to 1900 vintage. It was Historyland. It was Disneyland made real. You did not have the sensation that this was all ye olde baseball park. This was not a self-conscious attempt at retro like Camden Yards. This was an attempt at time travel. And it worked. We all bought in.
There's a base hit into the gap. Reynolds makes the turn at first, and he'll hold up with a single. That's the first hit.
The crowd is going nuts. The Hillies scored their first run in 74 years.
That's beautiful.
They're just taking the ball and throwing it in. And that's why the games went a lot faster in 1886.
Moran lays down the bunt. They're going to let it go down the line, and it's not moving anywhere. Oh, Jim Bouton is warming up, huh?
I pitched to a couple of batters. Of course, it was televised by ESPN, and then they had to, they had to go do the celebrity thing. So I had to pitch to a couple of batters, one of which was Bill Lee. Fortunately, I got him out with a pretty good knuckleball. So
he was raring to go. He wanted to play in this game. Down to first base. Jefferson up with it. Tags it out. 1-2-3 inning for Jim Bouton.
It was a very emotional night because we drew the largest crowd in the history of Wahconah Park. People fell in love with the idea, and they were smiling from the minute they walked in throughout the entire game. Even though the Pittsfield Hillies lost the game, they felt like they were a part of some community experience.
Going to do it. The Senators have won it. 16 consecutive wins. They win it tonight in front of a crowd of well over 4,500. The final 14-12. But more importantly, Pittsfield is back on the map when it comes to baseball, Bill.
It was a remarkable evening. Everyone felt wonderful about it. And we never imagined that it was a once-in-a-lifetime occasion not to be duplicated. We thought there was plenty more where that